Respect isn't something you ask for. It isn't something you demand. It isn't something people give because you speak loudly or look confident. Respect is psychological, earned through behavior, lost through behavior, and rebuilt through behavior. And here's the truth most men never hear: people don't lose respect for you suddenly. They lose it quietly, gradually, the moment your actions stop matching the identity you project. Respect fades the moment you stop respecting yourself. The Stoics understood that respect is not external currency. It's internal alignment. It's the reflection of who you are when no one is watching, and the reputation others form based on the consistency of that identity. You don't lose respect because people are cruel. You lose it because, somewhere along the way, you stopped acting like the man you know you should be. You tolerated too much. You said yes when you meant no. You let emotions control your decisions. You let people walk over your boundaries. You stayed silent when you should have spoken. You reacted impulsively instead of responding with strength. You broke your own standards. You accepted a lower version of yourself. Every one of these moments chips away at your presence, your authority, your power. Respect isn't lost in big moments. It's lost through small compromises repeated over time. People sense when you're no longer anchored in yourself. They sense when your words carry no weight. They sense when you act out of fear instead of purpose. And when they sense that, their respect naturally shifts. The Stoics believed a man must live in such a way that his own mind respects him first. Because without self-respect, external respect becomes impossible. Respect begins in your internal psychology. When your internal world is chaotic, insecure, or reactive, people treat you accordingly. Not because they hate you, but because humans instinctively respond to strength and stability. Here's the uncomfortable truth: people treat you based on what you allow, not what you want. If you communicate weakly, they assume weakness. If you tolerate disrespect, they assume you deserve it. If you constantly explain decisions, they assume you're unsure. If you break your own rules, they assume your rules don't matter. If you chase approval, they assume your value is negotiable. If you react emotionally, they assume you can be controlled. This isn't cruelty. It's psychology. Respect follows strength. Disrespect follows instability. The Stoics gained respect because they were immovable. Calm. Ordered. Self-governed. Not perfect, but principled. Not harsh, but firm. Respect grows around that kind of presence naturally. A man loses respect when he becomes predictable in his weakness. When people learn how to provoke him. When they know exactly what to say to get a reaction. When they know he won't walk away. When they know he won't enforce boundaries. When they know he prioritizes peace over self-respect. When they know he chooses comfort over truth. Respect disappears when your integrity becomes flexible. That's why getting respect back requires a shift far deeper than surface-level confidence. It requires rebuilding your internal world until your external behavior becomes undeniable. A Stoic regains respect in silence, not through arguments, not through defensiveness, not through demanding recognition. He changes how he carries himself. He becomes consistent with his boundaries. He becomes selective with his energy. He becomes calm under pressure. He becomes disciplined with his habits. He becomes unattached to external validation. He becomes reliable in his actions. He becomes someone whose presence doesn't need explanation. When a man realigns with who he's meant to be, respect returns automatically. People start listening again. Not because you talk more, but because your silence now carries weight. People stop testing you. Not because you threaten them, but because your boundaries are clear. People stop underestimating you. Not because you proved yourself, but because you stopped acting like someone who needs permission to exist. Respect returns when your value no longer depends on other people's recognition of it. The Stoics knew that strength isn't loud. It's quiet. It's the calm way you say no without explaining. It's the firmness with which you walk away. It's the clarity with which you choose yourself. It's the steadiness you maintain when others lose control. A powerful man doesn't fear losing people. He fears losing himself. Once you understand the psychology of respect, everything changes. You stop begging for respect from people who cannot give it. You stop trying to convince people who don't listen. You stop lowering yourself to be accepted. You stop giving access to those who drain your strength. You stop reacting emotionally to people who want control. You rise. Quietly. Deliberately. Slowly, but unmistakably. And the world senses it. People speak to you differently. They act differently. They think twice before crossing you. They adjust themselves around you instead of expecting you to adjust to them. Not because you changed physically, but because your internal center is no longer for sale. The moment you stop negotiating your value, the respect you lost returns stronger than before. Because people respect the man who respects himself first, with or without their approval.